So we went to a large university.
Yes.
That required a lot of walking to classes.
Certainly.
And one of the things you came across quite a bit was those squirrels. The wild squirrels.
Oh, I see.
And Alyssa had a bit of an unfortunate incident.
Oh, God.
With said squirrel.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to class. I was walking to a cafeteria. I was supposed to meet a friend for lunch before I went to work. I worked in a lab on campus. And I was just walking on the sidewalk, having a great time. And I'm like, I'm going to just cut through this little grassy area with some trees. And I'm walking, having a great time, walking under a tree. And all of a sudden I feel something wet land on my head. And I'm like, is it raining? Go to reach up, touch my head. And no, it was not rain, Hannah. It was poop. There's poop in my hair. And I looked up and I saw a squirrel right above me. It pooped on my head. It was out to get me. So, being me, I'm like, oh my God, I can't go to, a cafeteria with poop in my hair. So I went to the nearest building, went in the bathroom, and I'm like, thank God nobody's in here. And I just, had to rinse my hair out and my hands, because, I had poop on my hand. I'm like, hopefully no one notices me doing this. But I had to, text my friend, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be a little late because a squirrel pooped on my head. Or maybe I told her in person, I don't remember. Either or. It was gross. Squirrel was out to get me. And it was nasty. Thankfully, I've avoided most other animal droppings. Birds. They like my car. Pooping on my car. But
I just thought of...
What did you just think of?
Our dog had a foot fetish, we believe.
God.
She used to eat socks.
She 80 socks.
And she had
socks.
Specifically a vendetta against our mom.
Yes.
One time my mom was sitting at the computer desk and my dog proceeded to squat and poop on her feet.
No, she had diarrhea.
Oh, diarrhea on her feet.
On her feet.
And then another time my mom was outside and she had thrown her socks on the deck and her dog, who never poops on the deck, pooped on top of her socks.
Yes. She was out to get her. Hannah, do you remember we were upstairs in our bedroom and we just heard loud exclamations, "What are you doing?" And then we found out, she just had diarrhea all over her feet. Because we think it's a vendetta because, you're supposed to touch dogs' feet when they're puppies to get them used to, human touch and so they become comfortable. And I think she just had a vendetta. She was like, I'm going to eat every sock I come across. And to this day, I sometimes will see I've left my socks on the ground and have a rush of fear come over me, because the one time she ate a sock, she ended up having a bowel obstruction and the surgery to remove it, and it was very expensive, and it was very highly stressed that we were not allowed to leave socks anywhere in the house. You couldn't take socks off. You couldn't, they were only to go in your hamper.
Yep.
And she wasn't really allowed upstairs, so she wasn't going to be, in the hampers. But somehow she still managed to eat, 10 socks over the course of her life.
She was a champion.
Sponge, she ate, 3/4 of a $20 bill. She had a ginger root.
She had some Barbie clothes.
She had some American Girl doll clothes.
Yeah.
Sadly.
She was a freak.
Certainly. Certainly she was.
Oh.
I'm sure people are going to be thrilled with this fecal matter talk.
Yeah, this turned out not how I was expecting it to.
No.
Okay.
All right.
We tried.
We gave it a good
college try.
1 a.m. college try.
Fantastic. Welcome to Research Rank Repeat.
I'm Melissa.
And this is co-host Hannah, and we are tired.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We were gonna record this earlier, and I don't know.
I had to work.
Yeah, Hannah was working, and our mom works late, so we were having a nice little bev, chatting it up.
Little bev discussion.
Yeah. Talking about airplanes and assorted things like that.
Yep.
And so sorry our energy levels aren't to where we'd like them to be.
I feel like, though, it's fair for this episode.
It's fitting because this is a really low effort episode.
So, a couple weeks ago, our brother suggested that we rank all the letters of the alphabet. And I originally was like, how am I ever going to do that? Turns out there's a way to do it.
Turns out I'm not even joking when I say I did my ranking in about 10 minutes.
And it turns out I literally despise some of these letters of the alphabet that I never knew about.
You know, and some of them, it's personal preference, letters that are in my name. Some of them I just like the way they look. Some of them I like the way they sound.
Yeah.
Some of them I just don't like.
Yeah, but I'm going to do a little bit of background. Just a little.
Are you doing the English alphabet, or are you just doing alphabets in general?
The English alphabet.
Okay, I wasn't sure what
Since we're ranking the English alphabet, I figured I should...
This is true.
give background on the English alphabet,
That's
which
fair.
is actually a Latin alphabet. Consists of 26 letters, each having an uppercase and lowercase form.
Now, when you were looking at the letters, did you do them in uppercase or did you do them in lowercase?
I wrote them out in uppercase and lowercase.
Oh, see, I only looked at uppercase.
And then I kind of did like a mixed.
Okay. See, I didn't even bother doing that. I only did uppercase, so it may have changed if I had done both.
So anyways, it originated in the 7th century. And since then, they have removed letters from the alphabet to where we are now with 26. There are no special characters or any...
No tildes.
No tildes, no...
N-U's. N-yay.
Diddlywinks.
That's not a real thing.
I made it up.
Do you remember when we had to do the Spanish alphabet and you have to go N-A, N-yay.
I do remember that.
You gotta really nasal it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways,
I mean,
sorry to cut you off
you
there.
kind of threw me out of the
I just thought of...
sync there. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay. I mean, again, we're doing low effort. I told you I didn't even look at lowercase. Uppercase or bust.
Yeah. See, I kind of did a mix, but we'll see.
Okay.
Anyways, so we're going to get into it. We're basically just going to go through and explain why we picked the way we picked.
Yep.
I'm going to start.
Okay, you can start.
So number 26 is W. W is very misleading. It should be called double V.
W. In Spanish, it's called
right,
W.
But for some reason, English doesn't understand that.
W. W.
If it's lowercase, sure, it's a W, but if it's uppercase, it's V's.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I don't care. I don't like it.
Okay.
It's stupid. It's number 26.
Okay. Number 26, I did P. I don't like P. P's just the shape. I don't like... the uppercase and lowercase are essentially the same thing, so there's really no difference. P is not a fun sound. It's poop.
Penis.
Sure.
Okay.
I prefer the other words for the same thing with different letters.
I am never going to let Mom listen to this episode, so...
I mean, I'm more of, like... The other ones are more appealing to me.
I gotcha. Number 25, I did N. It's a second tier Z. It's basically just a Z rotated. And it has not a place in the English language.
Even though your middle name has N's in it?
Yeah, I mean, half my first name has N's in it, and my middle name starts with an N. I am aware of that.
Okay.
But I also can put that aside.
Okay. Maybe a controversial pick. 25, I picked K. I don't like the way it looks. To be frank, I don't like that there's a straight line and some diagonal lines, and there's no, strict way to make the lines. Like, some people have them branching off from the main line. I tend to, do a line and then split it, so there's no, standard. I don't like that. It's just, a lower tier C.
That's fair.
I prefer a C to a K, so...
Yeah, number 24, I went with L. I think it's one of the most boring looking letters in the alphabet, hence why I put it at the bottom.
24, I picked U, because it's just a low grade V. And U's just kind of like a loop, like a bowl, or a cup, but just there's nothing fun. And U is ew. It's gross.
Yeah. Number 23, I went with K. I agree with you. It strikes me the wrong way for some reason, and I don't trust it.
It's displeasing.
It seems vindictive.
Like a killer.
Like a schemer. K is for killer.
Yep.
Sue Grafton.
So 23 I put V because it's just slightly better than you because it's angular. It's got mystique. I like a lot of like first names for girls that start with V. But it's just boring.
Yeah.
Just like V, V, V. I took a linguistics class in college, and a lot of that was how your mouth makes letters. And so in that process of like having to really analyze how your mouth moves to make certain letters, there were ones that I just didn't like the way my mouth moved, and V, like you gotta really get your teeth out to make a V, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Number 22, I went with Y. There's nothing particularly wrong with Y. There's a certain word that's always haunted me that begins with the letter Y. Hence why I put it last.
I can understand that. You're wrong, but I can understand that. Hey, Hannah, do you know what my favorite Killer song is?
When we were young.
Yes. It's actually not my favorite Killer song, but I just wanted you to say the word young. Or as you say, yun.
I had a speech impediment as a child.
You've come quite a long way.
I could not say... I still can't say it without pausing.
Many words, but specifically the yun. It's too much.
Young.
It's just, yeah, it's not right. Anyway, so 22, I put N. I agree. It's like, it's just too many straight lines, and it's too angular, and N is just like another, like, It's not like a real sound. It's a fake sound.
I'm noticing you were very focused on the sound it makes. I paid no attention to that.
Well, both visual and audio, because you're saying the letters, you know. They're both reading and in auditory, and plus because I took linguistics, I thought about a lot of those things when I was taking the class, so.
I clearly didn't. And number 21, I went with D. I said I don't trust D as far as I can throw it.
So 21, I put F. F just like has a bad connotation in a general sense. I mean, certainly it's fun for swear words. Fuck. Like, it's fun to say that.
That's
certainly.
True. That is true.
Or in any variation. Yeah. There's many variations you can use it, but the letter itself, just like F, is like bad. You get an F and you're like, what am I doing with my life?
You're a failure.
You're a failure. Yeah, failure.
You're a fucking failure.
Exactly. So although it does have many good uses, I just, it's just a negative, and the letter itself is just, it kind of looks like a weird, like, rake or something like that. Like, just, yeah.
Number 20, I went with P. I agree with you. I said it is the equivalent of the stuck-up kid from high school. P thinks too highly of itself.
God. Principal. So for 20, I went with I don't know what that was. I'm tired. I'm sorry. 20, I went with I. Because there is no I in team.
But there's the E in team.
Yeah, but I'm not doing E right now. I just like, I don't like the look of it. It looks like a barbell sideways, and like, I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to have to do
You don't want to lift weights?
I don't have to do heavy lifting when I'm doing my alphabet, my letters. I just like, and lowercase I is just kind of, I don't know. I didn't think about, I wasn't really looking at lowercase I. I was just looking at the uppercase I, and it's just like not interesting. It's just the low grade T with the line on it. T's more fun to say, and I is just, it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Narcissistic.
Yeah.
Because it's all about I.
I'm the best.
Exactly.
Well, there is an E in team, and E is my number 19.
Okay.
I said, to me, it's one of the worst vowels. It's average. It's in a lot of words, but there's nothing special about E.
So, for number 19, I did J. While I agree, so you didn't even say J yet. While I believe that J in itself is an interesting letter, and it's intriguing, and there's enough going on with the shape that's fun, I just don't like it. I'm not a huge fan.
Okay, number 18, I went with F. I just don't really have any particular feelings about F. I don't really understand why it's a letter. Except for swear words.
Yeah, essentially.
Besides that, I don't get the point of it.
So for number 18, I did Q. There's just not a lot of utility with the letter Q. Its design is just a snooty O. It's got
snotty.
Touch me, I yell red. It's like an O with its pinky up. It's like, oh.
Oh, look at me! I'm so special.
Exactly. It's the sausage king of Chicago, Abe Froman.
Abe Froman.
It's just there's not enough utility for it, so I can't rank it very high.
Number 17 is G. For some reason, G, I always forget G's a letter. It's so damn forgettable, and I don't know if it's because it's just mixed in there in the middle of the alphabet. Well, it's not really middle, it's kind of beginning middle.
G, 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 G.
But for some reason, I always forget G's a letter, unless it's an ing. Then I remember G.
So for 17, I did Z. Z. It reminds me of bees. And wasps, hornets. Bees I like. I love honeybees. I like anything that's a pollinator. Except for wasp and hornets and things that are, have no utility beyond stinging you. And in itself, it's another letter that doesn't have a lot of utility. That's about it.
Yeah. Number 16, I went with M. For some reason, I think M has a superiority complex. I think M thinks it's a superior letter. And, I don't particularly think it is. I think it thinks it's better than N, which, to be fair, it is.
It certainly is better than N.
Based on my list.
Yes.
But, I don't know.
So for 16, I did G, and I agree with you that it's a forgettable letter. It's just kind of like another O, but it was too lazy to finish the O and just kind of cut off to the side. It's like a car that's veering off the track. It's just like a
Good God, man.
If you're just doing a G in itself, it just sounds so silly. And again, yeah, it's a forgettable letter, so.
It also reminds me of gagging, which I have
yes.
a gag. No, I'm just going to stop there.
Yes.
We'll just stop.
We talked about you with the stickers.
Oh, yes, we did.
So people are aware of your gagging of things. I mean, since we talked about the P earlier, it's only fitting, right?
Okay.
Well, let's move on. Let's continue.
Okay, number 15. Number 15 is U. It makes me very uncomfortable. It reminds me of, No, I don't want to say that because I've already said penis.
How does...
the tip of a penis.
Okay. I mean, I guess.
I don't know. Let's just go on.
All right. So 15, I did H. It's a mid-tier letter. I don't have any personal, attachment to the letter H. There's something really wrong with it. It's just, middle-of-the-road letter. That's about all I got.
Number 14, I put H. Maybe controversial because my name starts with H. I said, though, that I don't think there's anything special with H, minus it being the first letter of my name.
Yeah, that's fair. So for 14, I did C. C is the superior K. It's pleasing to say the word, S sound. Or cat. Or, going back to penis, cock. Or just rooster. It's the morning. I'm sorry. It's too early in the morning or late at night. Good God.
Are we going to release this episode?
I don't know. We'll make some cuts. Anyway, C's just got it's a mid-tier letter because again it's another O that got too lazy partway through, and yeah.
Number 13, I went with A. I said that I think A gets too much recognition being the first letter of the alphabet. I feel it needs to be humbled a bit, so I put it... Okay. Although I do agree, A is definitely an important letter. I think it's used in a lot. But, knock it down a couple tiers.
13, I did D. It's, kind of a fun letter to draw. If you're doing, a fancy D, an Old English D.
Get that D!
Yeah, get that D. Again, another phallic name. It's the superior one, I think.
Dick.
Yes, I'd rather say that than penis.
Or cock.
Yes, it sounds pleasing. It sounds more pleasing. And like saying a D sound, like D, it's not, I don't know. I just like am more pleased by the letter D.
Okay.
It's pleasing to the taste.
Pleasing to the mouth.
To the tongue, teeth, the lips. All right, continue.
Okay. Number 12 is going to be the letter R.
Okay.
And I feel like R should be higher on my list. But when I was making this list like an hour or two ago, I just wasn't feeling R. I think everyone likes R. I feel like you do by the way you're nodding your head at me. I think you have it in your top 5.
That might be correct.
Okay. I mean, one of my top 3 you said like 10 words ago. Letters ago.
You've
whatever
already
we're
said
doing.
one of my top 3, so yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no R's. No regrets.
Are we on 12?
I just did 12, so
Okay.
you should be on 12.
So number 12, I did X. X is an interesting one in that it really is a boring letter. It's just 2 lines crossed together. But it's just kind of fun. You know, there's like mystery. There's like a mystique to it. It's a mystery. Makes me think of like spy movies or treasure hunts because X marks the spot. X doesn't sound like what it looks like. I think that's interesting as well.
That is. It's one of the only letters.
Yeah. It just like doesn't seem right in a way. Like it works, but it just, when you think about it, it doesn't make sense.
That's true. Okay, number 11, I went with C. It's the official don't know the test answer, so let's pick this option. And I feel like it's gotten me through many exams.
C's get degrees.
C's get degrees. So that's why C gets to be number 11.
11, I went with E. E's just kind of like another kind of mid-tier letter. I don't really think there's anything necessarily special about it. The actual design of it's just kind of, this is the rake. I don't know why I said F was a rake, because E is like a sideways rake without the line. Or a pitchfork. The top of a pitchfork turned sideways. It's just like E. Sometimes it's fun to like eek, E.
EGOT.
Ooh-wee. EGOT. There's, there's a lot of fun. Like if I'm singing Fergalicious up in the gym, just
working on my fitness.
It's
Fergalicious. F to the
E
to the BANANAS.
D to the E to the LSCIOUS. Anyway, continuing on. Yeah, E's just fine. It's pleasing.
Number 10, I went with I. I just think there's a lot of good words that start with I. Also, I love ice. I love to chew on ice. I think I have an iron deficiency. But regardless.
That certainly is one of the conditions of iron deficiency, is wanting to chew on ice. You're not wrong.
But regardless, a lot of my favorite words, like ice cream.
Oh, that's true. Ice cream is good.
Icicles.
It's too late, though. It already gets 20.
Igloos. That's it.
Okay. Number 10, I went with O. There's something appealing. I know I talked about all these off-brand O's previously because O is the superior of the circle letters. It's just pleasing to look at a circle. It's a circle. Sometimes it could be surrounded by another circle.
And then another circle.
And then another circle. AKA almond joys and or mounds for the 2 people who understand that reference. Certainly not listening to this podcast.
No. So really no one's going to understand it.
So no one will understand what we're talking about. It's just for us. But O is just like because your mouth makes an O while you're saying O. O.
Oh.
Yeah, so you make a circle with your mouth. You make it's the only letter that you make with your mouth while you're saying it. O. So yeah, it's just, and O is also a fun sound. Again, with the ooey from Fergalicious, it's the same thing where ooh. Oh.
Okay. Number 9, I went with B. I think people forget about B because it's the second letter. And if you ain't first, you're last.
Yep.
And I think that there's so many good words that start with B.
Are you going to say anything?
No, I'm not going to say any.
Okay.
All
right.
But I think that it gets forgotten, and I think that it should not be forgotten. I want to, induct it into one of those, like, preservation societies.
Okay. So for number 9, I did W. I'm going to disagree with you. The letter W is appealing to me, and just saying W is fun. I like saying W. I know it's just, I've complained about diagonal lines previously, but I don't know, something about W, just the way it looks, works for me.
Okay, so number 8, I went with J. I think J seems like one of the coolest letters. Like, if J were a friend, I would want to be friends with that person. No, if J were a person, I would want to be friends with that person.
To be fair, a lot of, like, the cool kid nicknames, there's a J. Like, AJ, TJ, SJ,
Yeah.
DJ. It's always a J.
Like, my idol JoJo growing up.
Yeah.
J. Jekyll and Hyde. One of my other idols.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, on a similar vein, number 8, I have L. And I'm going to disagree with you that it's a boring letter. Loser, whatever, fly away forever.
Poof.
Here's the thing. You put 2 L's together and it makes a W.
Wumbo.
Yep. Gotta set for mini instead of wumbo. Anyways, L, it's classic. It's simplistic. It's regal in a way. L is just a fun letter to say. Living la vida loca.
Sometimes I don't call you out, but I have to call you out.
Living the vida loca.
No, living la vida loca. You should say living the la vida loca.
That's how I sing it all the time.
No, it's living la vida
loca. I know, but that's how I sing it. You have to let me sing it the way I want to sing it. I know that's how it is. La vida loca. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I just like L.
Okay, so number 7, I did V. Only because my favorite word starts with a V.
What's your favorite word?
Vendetta.
Okay.
Which I know is kind of about murder.
I mean, yeah.
But it's just a fun word to say.
So you like the movie V for Vendetta?
I actually did like it. I've only seen it once.
Okay.
It was cool.
Yeah. So 7, I have M. I just like M. I know you said it was like a mid-tier and it thought it was superior. And certainly I agree that M is probably it is superior to M, and it probably also thinks it's superior to N, and I'm sure it has a superiority complex. But I'm biased. My middle name starts with an M, and just M is like, you can kind of hum it, and humming's fun, so Men in Black. I know where you're going with
stop.
that. Yeah, we'll just stop there.
Number 6, I did O. I think what you said about O is true. I also think it's the most underrated vowel. People sleep on O because they're so focused on A and E and I and sometimes Y and U. But let's give O some credit and respect that it deserves.
So 6, I did B, and I agree. B gets slept on because it's the second letter, and it's a very fun letter to write. I love doing B's, specifically an uppercase B, because it's like 2 circles, and it's like, it just flows really nicely. Plus, it looks both like a butt and boobs turned to the side. It applies to both. You know? Certainly not a B cup, but it's 2 cups to make a B. And B's just fun to say, too. There's a lot of fun words, like bubbles. There's a lot of fun B words.
I never thought that the alphabet episode would be our dirtiest episode yet. Somehow it became...
Well, also, it's like 1 a.m, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, I went with Q. I just think that it's such a crazy letter. Like, what even is Q?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to give it some props just for being absolutely insane.
Fair. So for 5, I did T.
T.
Spell with your P's. T. T's just a fun word to say. Plus, our last name starts with a T. There's multiple T's in the name. You know, so I write a lot of T's. It's one of the letters I use most frequently. It's very short and, like, to the point. And it's very heavily used in a general sense.
Yeah, I put T as number 4. You know what you're getting with T. Like, you're getting T.
Yeah, you're getting T. It's not like it's a super original looking letter. Again, it's just 2 lines, but...
Yeah. I also love tea, like the drink.
Exactly.
So that obviously...
Tea is fun.
Yeah. And I just think tea's used in a lot of words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
4, I did Y. I disagree. I like Y. I think Y is interesting. It also is the only vowel that is both a consonant and a vowel sometimes, which makes it unique. Certainly not biased because there's a Y in my name. Certainly wouldn't be doing that. But I just like Y. Why?
Why?
Exactly. Why? Why not?
I mean,
why?
I said there was nothing particularly wrong with it. I just
Yeah.
have a vendetta against it because
Yes.
I was made fun of it.
I know.
Made fun of because of that word.
You gotta be a yes instead of a no.
That's true. Yes, man.
Exactly.
Number 3, I went with S. I said without S, there's not really any plural words. And everything's better as a plural. Well, I take that back. Some things are better as plural. I also just think S is, like, really fun to write. And, yeah, I mean, S is just cool.
I also put S as number 3.
Ding, ding, ding.
For similar reasons. S is fun to say. It's fun to draw. It looks like a snake. It's all slithery. And there's a lot of variation with the way you can do S. And it's all one fluid motion.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the only letters that you can just, like, literally scribble. Like, it's not, there's nothing straight about the S. It's gender fluid.
We love a gender fluid S.
Exactly. And it's just very appealing to me. It's also, I write that us is a lot because I have more than one S in my name, so.
Yeah.
We stand in S.
We stand in S. Number 2, I went with X. I actually think X is very undervalued because I can never think of a word that starts with X besides X-ray.
Xenophobia.
Xylocarp.
Xylophone. What is a xylocarp?
That's from Mean Girls.
Is it?
One of those weird homeschooled kids, and she's like, X something something. Xylocarp.
Okay.
Spelling bee scene.
I see. Okay. Sorry.
But I just think
incorrect.
X is like a fun letter. And I think it gets unappreciated because of how few words you use in your daily life with X.
That's fair. 2, I went with A. A is the first letter. If you ain't first, you're last. A is certainly lives up to its namesake. A gets used a lot. A is fun to say. A is for awesome. And A is for Alyssa. And clearly I am second best in our family as the second born.
I love how I put myself like 12th then.
But I also just like the letter A beyond my own name because, Hannah, how many times would you say our last name is had an A put into it where it doesn't belong?
I mean, I've had like certificates.
Yep.
With the last name spelled with an A instead of an E.
I got a document from work that had my last name spelled, like an
Yeah.
official document that I had to send an email saying, hey, this is for my tax. Like, it was something like ridiculous that I had to be like, yeah. This is not right.
But yeah.
Right, number 1.
Number 1, I went with Z.
Really?
Which you put pretty low down.
It's number 17.
Yeah.
17.
17. I think Z's the coolest letter by far. I think it's fun to write. I think it's a good time gal. I'm going to say it's a gal. Maybe it's not. I also just think, like, a lot of Z names I really like. Like Zoe.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I know you see me standing there.
Here.
Here.
Do I look good,
But
my
do
dear?
I look good, my dear?
Anyway, continue on. Go with your Z.
But anyways, I think it's a cool letter. I think that, again, since being the last letter of the alphabet.
But isn't Z just N on its side? And didn't you say N was a shitty letter?
No, I said, and I quote, N sucks. It's a second tier Z and it has not a place.
I see. Okay, that's fair.
Z looks like a lightning bolt. I love Harry Potter.
Guess that's fair.
I think that Z is what Z is what N is trying
It's
to be.
striving to be.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
That's why I like Z.
So number 1, I put R. I think R, for me, is the best letter because I love the way it looks. It's got the curvature of an S, but it also incorporates straight lines. You get the curve part, and it's another letter you can do in one fluid motion. Love a good curve. A soft curve, you know. R is also just a fun word to say. R, like a pirate.
R mateys.
There's a lot of fun words that start with R.
Rice.
Race car. Both fun words. Riot.
My first word was rice.
I mean, rice is pretty good.
I do like me some rice.
You know, racquetball. Rapscallion. That's one of my favorite words. So, I just like R. It's just the best letter, I think.
Rocket.
Yes. I just think it's a good letter.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
That's fun. Fun stuff.
Yep. Well, this was an interesting list. Now, I think when we list our letters, we should just list the letters in order
And not say the number. I agree.
Yeah, I think that'll just be easier since it's just a letter and not words, that it would be easier to do it that way.
I feel like I'm going to get caught up because it's like when you try to do the alphabet backwards.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever had to do that.
Put your fingers on your nose, Hannah.
No, I have not.
Have you been drinking tonight?
Well, tonight, yeah, but after I got off work, I was already home.
Can you walk in a straight line right now?
Yes, I had one little cocktail.
Are you sure?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Okay. So I have WNLKYDPEFGHRCIBJVOQTSXZ.
And QT, certainly.
QT is me. That was difficult to do.
Okay. So for my list, starting from worst to first, PKUVNFIJQZGHCDXEOWLMBTYSAR.
Wasn't that difficult?
No.
Oh, I'm just dumb. Okay, that's fine.
No, I think, I don't know, but for me, I just read it up in the line. I didn't think about the alphabet in order.
That's
I did
fair.
get a little caught up on the fact that it was CD, and I went, ooh.
Ooh.
Yep.
Not as good as QT.
No, not as good as QT.
But yeah, so that's our alphabet ranking. Like, again, we each probably put about 20 minutes into it.
Yeah, it was a very low effort because we just wanted to do the episode, and clearly there's not like a lot we can do with it. Now, certainly, I'm sure there are so many people out there who have such strong opinions about the alphabet and the ranking of these letters.
If anyone's name starts with W, it's not personal.
Same with P. Penny. I like the name Penny. Penelope. You know.
But anyways.
Sorry to all the Pauls out there. And the Peters. And the
Phillips.
Penises. Sorry to all penises.
And dicks.
It's not your fault.
And cocks.
And the weenus.
Weenus. That almost raised it for me.
Yeah, just solely because it's weenus.
Because I love a good weenus.
You made an Easter egg that said weenus on it.
Yeah, I did. I dyed an Easter egg and it said weenus on it. Because I am 5 years old.
Exactly. Okay, well, this has been a time and a half. In case anyone wanted to know, I did get contacts. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
She got contacts.
I did get contacts.
And then her mom treated her like a 5-year-old tonight and told her to stop rubbing her eyes.
I can get pink eyes. Oh, ew.
Alyssa's been...
I'm tired.
And that feces in her eyes.
I mean, I'm not.
We just need to stop.
I washed my hands. I took my contacts out.
Okay.
And,
But if you have any opinions on your favorite letter or how wrong our lists are, just let us know. Shoot us an email or Instagram, Twitter.
Do you want us to do the Spanish alphabet? We're familiar with that one, even though it's essentially the same thing with, like, an extra couple letters. Throw a little tilde and a little enye in there. And,
we'd be willing to do any alphabet you might like us to do.
Or like the Greek alphabet.
Yeah.
If you would like to contact us, you can do so on our social medias. You can email us. We're certainly not looking at it 24/7, but often enough that we would notice it. And we'll be back next week with another not low tier episode. I think it will be pretty exciting. But,
we'll see.
Bye.
Bye.
Penises.
Penis.
Penis.
Penis. Penis.
Stop. We would like to thank Joseph McDade for our intro music. He provides free music available for all kinds of creative use. The song that we used is called Sunrise Expedition, and you can find it and his other music on his website, josephmcdade.com. If you would like to reach us, you can email us at r3podcasts@gmail.com. That's R, the number 3, podcasts@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Instagram by searching Research Rank Repeat.